so you hate on her. Got some ice, throw some skates on her. Bring it back, throw my faith with her. Break her back when she say the word. The time we don't speak, the same time that I'm weak. Around your aura I peak. You're shining now. Your lips that I kiss, the softest that I have missed.
Sorry. Excuse me. Does anybody else, like, don't just burp once and make sure that they get all the burps out at once and not just, you know what I mean? Like that first burp, I could have just stopped there, but I wanted all the burps that was still in my junks to come out my junks. So during the video, I'm not burping. Y'all feel me? Suck! No. Marine of the Undead. I do not like the sound of that. Music by... Okay.
South Pacific, March 1945.
Right.
A flotilla of U.S. Haskell-class attack troop transports steadily carved their way westward through the deep and dark tropical waters. On board each vessel are over 1,500 troops and their combat equipment, all bound for the hostile shores of Okinawa. To all on board, the impending unknown action ensures no one can sleep. Each man knows full well that the enemy they face is disciplined, vicious, and unrelenting.
Everybody that's in those ships, first of all, I'm going to treat the ships like I do my friends. Right, if we ever in a clubbed-up situation, y'all can go ahead of me, and I'm gonna treat y'all like bait. So whatever clucks y'all up first, I'm gonna let whatever it is or whoever it is to cluck you up first, and then that give me more than enough time to go ahead and haul ass. Right. So while I'm on the ships, I'm gonna let the I'm gonna have a couple of ships in front of me, in front of my ship, so when something clucks it up, give me more than enough time to haul ass in the ship. Because we're out in the big ass ocean. Anything could go wrong. And cluck all of the, I guess, Marines that's being distracted or not really paying attention like these mother cluckers, because they don't be the first ones to get clucked up. Meanwhile, I'm just outside of this ship talking about some, I'm looking, scanning. Because again, we're out in the open, big ass ocean, motion. Keep it close. I don't know. So anything can go wrong. You got all of that.
They each reflect solemnly on the short lives they have led so far, how quickly they were trained to kill, and how each and every one of them struggles and ultimately accepts that they may never set foot on American soil again. Intelligence has advised the captains that they will have a clear run towards the main island. Advanced patrols have detected no hostiles, and by morning, they will have landed on the beach. Sadly, the intelligence was wrong. Dozens of kamikaze pilots drop swiftly from behind cloud cover, target the exposed ships, and begin to wreak havoc. The support ships were destroyed, leaving the troop transports exposed for the rest of the Mitsubishi Zeros to annihilate them.
See?
Within a matter of minutes, it was all over.
See what I'm saying?
The Japanese sacrificial lambs had served their nation well, leaving thousands of casualties drowning in the shark-infested waters.
Shark-infested waters.
Dan Blacker of the 42nd Marines found himself washed up on the sandy shore of an unknown beach at sunset.
That's a big-ass crab.
He was exhausted, alone, and terrified.
That's a big-ass crab.
His eyes stung from the salt water. His skin was seared from the relentless sun.
All I'm saying, and what I'm really saying, but not saying, but just saying, Thank God he's on his stomach, laying down, and not on his back, flat out on his back, laying down, because that's a big ass crab with some big ass claws. If he was laying on his back, all I'm saying, but what I'm not saying, but just saying, the crab could have just been like, right on his dick. I'm clucking every crab there. Pause. I'm clucking up every crab there.
His head felt like a steel sledgehammer was repeatedly smashing its way through the bone of his skull from the inside out. With a lot of battle debris and bodies surrounding him, he scrounged what useful items he could and made his way further up the beach. He was able to find some water, a carton of basic rations, and a timber crate that instantly gave him a greater sense of security. It was an M1A1 Thompson submachine gun with 10 boxes of ammunition.
Damn.
His mind was solely focused on his survival, and his senses purposely focused on identifying any threat, of which he was sure there were plenty, lurking in the thick, dark jungle. Then, a muffled scream from behind him in the jungle rang out through the night. A stinging pang of fear and relief rocked his belly, as the thought of not knowing if he was alone was replaced with the realization of knowing that he wasn't.
You don't know where the hell are you going right now, brother. Relax. We don't know where the hell you are. You're on an island surrounded by a whole goddamn ocean. On top of that, you're going through some deep ass, thick ass forest, jungle. And you got limited amounts of bullets. What if you're a jumpy person? What if you're like what if you do one of these? Oh, bow. Like, you're clocked. You might as well say, clock the gun. You're clocked.
Carefully, Blacker checked his weapon and slowly and quietly crept through the jungle, hoping to hear something again that would help him determine on a direction to travel. The jungle was damp from the monsoon, the humidity so thick he could taste it.
Oh my God.
And the only light was that from the half moon above. He had no idea if he was footsteps away from stepping off a cliff, onto a mine, or face first into a nest of spiders. He tried to focus his mind. He wanted to stop, but he needed to keep moving. And then he saw it. A light emanating from a hut in what could only be a Japanese camp.
Relax.
He sat still, camouflaged in the jungle foliage, slowing his breathing in the hope of calming his heartbeat.
Eddie!
He looked around the area for a moment. Nothing. However, he could hear talking, the faint sound of voices, and crackle from a radio.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if you hear talking. That's like me hearing somebody fuck, and I'm like, oh, let me join in. Okay, I don't know why I took it there, but I did. So, yeah. Moral of what I was trying to say, like, the point I was trying to say is just because you hear talking don't necessarily mean you gotta haul ass to the people that's talking.
He figured he may be able to use to call for help. Only if he could get to it without getting killed first. With teeth gritted so hard he felt his molars were almost shattering, he moved silently behind the illuminated hut, trying to time his steps with the alternating crackles of noise and voice from the radio before any silence occurred. He edged down the side of the hut, then peered in to see a lone young Japanese soldier slumped and lifeless on the desk. The electric light burned brightly above him, illuminating the room and his dried blood, which had been splattered across the wall next to him.
Chlamydia.
He quietly entered the room and tried to operate the radio to make a distress call. The dials and numbers were completely foreign to him, so he cautiously attempted to send out an SOS on Morse code, using several different frequencies, before realizing that without knowing where he was or who he was trying to call, the efforts were completely in vain. He abandoned the idea, for now, and began to explore the remainder of the camp for any useful equipment or sign of life. Nothing, not a soul. Tired and thirsty, he sat to take a drink while he tried not to be consumed with his feelings of frustration brought on by exhaustion and anxiety. He was relieved that the camp was unoccupied, but he still felt extremely anxious that he was completely lost, and maybe not alone.
You're not.
Finishing his water, he turned to the high tank to his side to refill his canteen. A tight twist and the tap screeched open. Then, a thick dark liquid spewed out of the tap and onto the ground.
Clement
The
Ale.
iron-rich stench of blood and rotten meat tore at his nostrils as he shut it off and stood back to see the red gooey mass pool onto the sand.
Blue balls.
His immediate instinct was to look up at the source, yet there was nothing untoward there. It was a standard water tower. He walked around it, still looking up, and began to hear a slight yet constant dull tapping from above. Compelled to know more, he eyed the bamboo ladder and positioned himself in front of it. He held a lifelong aversion to heights, which he felt should have been shaken out of him during basic training.
Here we go.
However, when he was anxious, the vertigo was exacerbated, and his hands shook as he gripped the sides of the rickety ladder. Then, rung by rung, he placed each boot with steadfast caution as he made his way to the top of the tower.
Oh, God.
Now, sweating profusely, he landed both feet solidly on the deck supporting the tank and reached up to grip the steel edging. The acrid stench was intense, and the tapping was much louder now, slow and rhythmic, a stark contrast to his heart rate, which was racing out of control. He slowly pulled himself up and stared into the dark tank. The moonlight made it hard to discern what was there.
Oh, God!
Closer, it appeared among the lumps of flesh, were a number of...
That mother... Oh, God. You know what's in there, right? You got syphilis. You got blue balls. You got what? Blue waffles. You got hemorrhoids. You got AIDS. You got the clap. You got chlamydia. You got crabs. What's another disease? You got the cluck fumes in there. The cluck genes in there. What else you got in there? Definitely not no Adidas. What's another? Oh no. You got wingworm in there. You got lice in there. You got all that in there. And then some. That's disgusting. I don't remember if he drunk it or not. Cause I remember him drinking something, but I don't know if it was that. If it was that, oh my God. Cause I remember him drinking something, but then I remember him pouring that red liquid into something.
Faces. Were they human faces?
Yes.
He stared closer, and it was now apparent that he was looking at a tank full of decomposing bodies.
That's disgusting.
The one closest to him moved, and from within the dark ocular cavities came a set of bloody hands which slowly and silently tore the face apart.
Oh, damn!
Blacker instinctively reeled away from this horrific sight and fell backwards from the tower into the foliage that cushioned his fall, leaving him winded but unharmed. The awakened contents of the tank, having been disturbed, moved violently with activity where the entire tower began to shake from side to side.
It's about to tip.
In a matter of moments, the wobbling tank and tower collapsed off its foundations and crashed to the ground as if caused by the power of a minor earthquake.
Ew.
The tower lay twisted and broken, the tank crushed, and the moving flesh and bloody contents spilled over the ground.
Ew!
The zombie creatures, now drained of blood, slowly stood up and their dead eyes stared directly into those of Private Blacker. The
Holy shit.
was somehow alive, it seemed, very hungry, and they were all interested in getting a piece of Blacker.
Pause.
Blacker, quickly regaining his composure, grabbed his submachine gun, cocked it, and shouted at the dead men walking to stop or he would open fire.
They're dead.
His orders fell into dead ears and the mindless zombie creatures staggered ever closer. Blacker wasn't going to go down without a fight. He put the weapon to his hip and pulled hard on the trigger, hosing the zombies away as they approached. They were all immediately cut to pieces, body parts flying into the air and soon covering the ground. However, Blacker knew it wouldn't be the last of them, especially since he had just caused enough of a disturbance to awaken the dead, wherever they may be hiding. Reluctantly, he knew someone or something would soon be coming. It was only a matter of time before they found him, unless, of course, he got to them first.
He's clocked. Like, what are you talking about? Like, there's no to be continued, or until next time, or next time on. There's none of that. He's going to be clocked, point blank, period. I don't give a damn. If he finds another human just like him, that's a 50-50. Because that person could have no feelings, have no remorse. Did I say that right? Or have nothing like that, and just straight up try to kill this motherfucker. Or that person, if he ever finds somebody like him, and that's living, could want to help him. So I don't. Put your country in the comments. USA, America. So yeah. If he finds somebody else just like him and that's living, it can go either way. But like I said before, like you have limited amount of bullets. And God only knows how many more zombies there are on that island. I have a feeling it's gonna be much more than the amount of bullets that you have. So I don't know what else to tell you. See, if you was Aquaman, I mean, you literally could have just swam to a country or something. I don't know. But you would have had backup because he talked to fish and all that. So they could have just clucked up all the zombies on there and then some. I'm just trying to predict what's going to happen next. I feel like he is going to meet somebody there that is living. That's those zombies that he re-killed. I don't know. Definitely it's going to be more of them. But yeah. So what you going to do when you run out of bullets, bro? Ooh, excuse me. Excuse me. See what I'm saying? Like, that was what, 3-4 burps? Imagine if I only burped once in the beginning of the video. I would have burped throughout the whole video. I don't got time for that. Y'all don't have time for that either. But I don't know. What would y'all do if you were stuck on an island? Just just by yourself. Like you were the only one that you knew of at the time being that you were stuck on the island by yourself. You stuck on there, with a friend, your partner, or anything like that. You were just stuck there you were just stuck on the island by yourself. Like, what would you do? I don't know. I guess you just gotta, I don't know. Yeah, I guess you just gotta restart everything over again. I mean, you already know how to read. You know how to talk. You know how to fight someone. I think you would just have to start a whole new society, start a whole new country on that island. Other than that, yeah. But what would you do if you thought you was on an island by yourself and then you met somebody else living and all that? Let me know that in the comment section below. Keep it cool, keep it classy, and I love you. Stay happy, my family.